Hi, this is Pauline from Two Saints Coaching, and today I'm going to share with you 10 things that get in the way of the success of entrepreneurial leaders. Okay, so the first thing is decision making, and this is about letting others make your decisions. So when you're an entrepreneurial leader, you really, you've got the drive, you've got the vision, but sometimes you have a team with you, unless you're a sole trader. You have this team, and, if your team aren't on the same page as you, and you are not strong enough in who you are and that conviction of knowing that the decisions that you make and you're holding on to those decisions, if you're not strong enough in that, other people will make their decisions for you. And then what happens is you then start feeling frustrated that your business is not growing at the speed you want it to because you've got other people making those decisions for you, and you feel like you're just a bystander. So this is about for entrepreneurial leaders to be able to own who they are, so that they know and they're firm in their decisions and they can stick to them, and they start moving towards the success that they crave and feeling satisfied in what they're doing. So that is one of the things that gets in the way. The second thing is being focused in the wrong direction. This is a big thing, like letting other things get in the way. You got your vision, you know what you want to do, but some entrepreneurial leaders are focused on other things. What's going on in the news, and what that person said, and it slows you down. If you focus on things that you have no control of, what that does is take up all your energy. Your energy is being taken away because you're focusing on the wrong things, and so that leads to frustration amongst entrepreneurial leaders. And sometimes they don't understand that they're the person. And something here to remember is, if your business is not as successful as you want it to, and it's a hard thing to take on board, you have to look at yourself, because you are the head, you are the leader. And if your business is not growing at the pace you want it to, you have to look at you and say, what is it that I'm not doing? Yeah, it's about really, this isn't about blame. This is about really thinking, right, what do I need to do better? Because what you find is that filters down to the members of your team, whether it's your management team and then the team below that. So, because what will happen is your management team will then start, when they start see you doing what you need to do, they'll start doing what you need to do. And it's a saying that we've all heard, that it all comes from the top. Well, it's true. Whatever leaks down, for example, maybe not giving people a chance within your business, and, being really quick to kind of let people go without giving them a chance. Well, if that's your mentality, that's going to filter down into your management team and below that. So it's about really understanding what it is you are showing up with on a daily basis, because your team are modelling you. And if you're not getting what you want from your team, it's about looking at yourself and saying, right, what do I need? Who do I need to be? Who do I need to be as this leader to drive my business forward? Who do I need to be? And then it's about going out and being that person and moving forward in that direction. So it's like I say, sometimes it can be a bitter pill to swallow, but we have to look at ourselves when our businesses aren't growing at the rate that we want them to. So that's the second thing. The third thing is not leading. You're not being the leader. People within your business are looking up to you to lead, and you're not leading. You're not taking charge. You're looking around at other people and wanting them to make the decisions, and they see you as the leader. So it's about owning that position. It's about taking on that responsibility no matter what, because like I say, People are looking to you to make those decisions. And if you're not making the decisions, that's going to filter back down to them. And sometimes your decisions are then made by other people who really haven't got the same vision as you, who really haven't got the same drive as you. And you'll find that your business is actually slowing down because you've got other members making your decisions for you. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing is just not trusting yourself. Say for instance, you make a decision, okay, right, that's what I want to do. And then someone else comes in with something else. And we do need other people's opinions to help us to gauge what is right for us. But what sometimes happens with entrepreneurial leaders is they take someone else's decision on board as opposed to holding on to what is right for them. And that leads to frustration. They start then becoming frustrated, and that filters into the business. And then your team are distant from you because they can see that you're not happy. They can see you're frustrated. They can see that you might start having an outburst. So this is really about, really trusting yourself with your decisions. Yes, other people are allowed to have an opinion, but this is about you holding firm when you know something is right for you. This is about really holding firm. And if you struggle with that, I'm going to come at the end of this, I'm going to talk about coaching, but get yourself a coach to help you to uncover what is that about? What is that about? Why am I not, holding firm my decisions? What's stopping me? Because that all leads to frustration. The fifth thing on the list is anger. All that frustration, whether it's to do with the decision making, you not leading and other people making your decisions, you not trusting yourself and then other people making your decisions for you. It then means that leads to anger because all that frustration is a build up. It all builds up and then you explode, and then that tarnishes the relationship that you have with your team, and then that's all about trust. If they can't trust you to be calm and be respectful to them, that's going to make you have a difficult relationship. And all relationships, whether it's business relationships or personal relationships, are built on trust. And if you're not able to do that, if you're not able to temper that, then that has an effect. And as much as you might say, well, yeah, but I didn't mean it, well, you've exploded on people around you, and then they lose the trust in you. And then that has to be rebuilt, and that slows down the process of you achieving your goal. So, it's really important to be able to get the frustration when you feel it kicking in. Get that frustration out before it leads to anger. Okay? That's the fifth thing. The next thing is inconsistency. That leads to inconsistencies about the decision making again. So, they say that really successful people make decisions quickly. They make decisions quickly. Whereas if you're not making those decisions quickly, if you're making one decision, then changing it again, then changing it again, you're slowing yourself down. This is about making a decision, sticking to it and going with it and trusting it. I know that all great plans, need to be shaped and sometimes you start off with a plan, but give it time instead of making a decision, then changing it. Because what that then does, it slows down the success, but also your team members are then having to regroup, do something else, and that takes time. And that inconsistency gets in the way of your success. The seventh thing is your vision is not strong enough. Your team aren't brought into this vision. A vision with just words, has no real effect. People have to feel the vision. They've got to, walk into the office and wherever that is and think, oh my God, yeah, I can feel the vision. Because that's going to drive them. But if your vision is just like some words on a bit of paper with no passion behind it, that's going to be like, yeah, I think I know what it is. So this is about really building a vision. So have words, but also talk about it. Be passionate. Let that passion spill out onto your employees so they then feel it. They intake the vision as well. And then you're all on board with the vision. But if that vision isn't strong enough, if no one's really feeling that vision, it's going to slow you down. Because like with any goal, your vision has to be strong enough that when you get those challenges, you keep going. Your vision needs to pull you through. It needs to pull you through. So that is one of the things that gets in the way, your vision not being strong enough. Okay. The next thing is having the wrong people on your team. And sometimes it's hard because, if you've had, if you've been working with these people for a long time, they're on your team, well, that's where it is. But having people that are quite close-minded on your team, yes, to a certain extent that can help, because sometimes with entrepreneurs, we get really excited and we want to run forward and like, that idea. And sometimes you do need people who are a little bit more cautious to pull you back a little bit. I get that. But if you have too much of that on your team, you then get slowed down. And your ideas, you'll have this great idea, this great inspiration, but it goes nowhere. And then that, again, leads to frustration. And then with the build-up of that becomes anger. So it's about really having that right balance on your team, and maybe having a few more open-minded people on your team as opposed to closed-minded people. Because those closed-minded people, like I say, yes, you want to be able to have people that have a bit more of a realist attitude, but that can slow you right down. So it's about having the right balance on your team and maybe more open-minded people as opposed to closed-minded people. Okay. The next one is the ninth thing is fear. Fear just slows everyone down, doesn't it? Fear keeps you stuck. But if you let that fear get in the way, then you'll slow down. Like I talked about open-minded people and closed-minded people. Closed-minded people are very much fear-based people. They don't want to step out their comfort zone. They're comfortable in what they're doing because they're scared. And if you have a lot of that on your team, then you're going to be slowed right down. You're not going to step out your comfort zone. You're going to stay where you are. So this is really about, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Jumping in. Burn your boats, as Tony Robbins says. It's about really just literally getting in there. Yes, this is an opportunity. I'm not saying go out and take huge, massive risks to the detriment of your business. But I'm saying don't sit in a safe place thinking that you're going to achieve your goals from that place, because you're not going to do that. This is about really stepping out of your comfort zone, and you will know when you step out of your comfort zone because you'll feel it. You'll be like, oh, and you'll feel that energy, and it's going with it. Going with the energy, feel it, start taking the action, making a plan. Have a plan ready for when you do step out of your comfort zone so that you know where you're headed, and sticking to that plan and sticking to it and being consistent, because you're going to get there a lot quicker, and you're not going to allow the fear to kind of hold you and keep you stuck. So fear is the ninth thing. The 10th thing is belief. If you don't believe that, you're going to achieve your goals, what's the point? Why are you here? Belief is a big one, and the thing is, you're able, if you don't have the belief, you can cultivate the belief. I want you to think, there's this thing that's called the success cycle, okay? What the success cycle is, so if you think of 4 squares, a box with 4 squares in it. So in one of the squares you've got potential, in one of the squares you've got belief, the other square you've got action, and you've got results. So if we look at the potential box, everyone has potential, okay? Potential is a given to every person on this planet. We've all got the potential to do, or have whatever it is we want in our lives, okay? We've all got that potential. So then with that potential, just imagine that you don't believe that you can achieve your goal. So no belief, you've got this potential, you're not going to take action, and you're not going to get the results. Now I want you to flip that on its head. Imagine you've got 1,000% belief. I know I'm going to achieve my goals. Oh my goodness. Wow, I'm so excited. You've got the potential there. You're going to take the action and you're going to get the results. And it goes around in that cycle. And the more action you take, the better you see the results, and you keep going in that way. And then before you know it, your success is going to be here. You know, your success is going to be right in front of you. Celebrating and all that. So it's really about that belief needs to be strong enough. And the way, if the belief is not there to start with, you can cultivate a belief. You know, a belief is only a thought that you thought over and over again. So this is about really thinking, right, what do I need to think in order to move forward towards my goals? And then you start building that in, you start thinking about it, you start feeling it, you start owning it, like you're walking around the office, like, and the belief is going around in your head, and you're believing it, and your body is showing it, and and that's how you cultivate a belief, because you're thinking about it over and over again. Yeah, you're condensing it, you're adding to it, and it's making you feel good, and you're getting excited, and you're taking action, and so that's how you change the belief. Sometimes there's more work to be done underneath that. If you've got some beliefs that are getting in the way, but to build that belief, if it's not there already, you think it, it's a thought, you keep repeating it, you start seeing it, and you just keep going. It's about repetition. Keep doing it. Then you start attracting more of that into your life. You start attracting, because your beliefs will attract what you get into your life. So if you've got the wrong beliefs, you start attracting, and it's not, if the belief isn't in alignment with your goals, then you're not attracting what you want for your goals. So it's about really cultivating and building the beliefs that support you in the achievement of your goals. Okay? The next thing is your environment. If your environment is not set up for your goals, okay, then that's going to slow you down. You're going to get slowed down by that. And, on a personal level, my own environment is set up with all my goals. Like, I've got all my goals. I see them every single day. But if your business environment is not reflecting that, then your goals, you go in and you're not really seeing that. So it's about having a space where your goals are, put them up so you can see them, your employees can see them. That brings your goals to life. It's going in unconsciously, and you start, you just see it, like it's just in your mind. It's that seed being planted, and every time you look at it, it's like watering that seed, and it starts growing, and people are taking action, and people are talking about it. So it's about really setting up your environment. Like I say, it doesn't have to be the whole office, but there needs to be a space that's created for your goals, so that your whole business is set around that. Okay. And another one is modelling. And sometimes this can be a bit like, oh, but modeling's about modelling someone that's done it already. Like, for instance, if you go to networking events, and this is about building relationships with people, building relationships with other business owners who have the success that you want, building that relationship, talking to them and bouncing ideas off of them. It's about modelling other people that have done it already. Why try and, do something afresh when someone's already done it? It's going to take you twice as long. So model someone who's done it already, and you've got a chance of getting there a lot quicker. And you're building relationships with people, and, you're building up your network, and all that's going to help you as well. Okay. And the last thing is that I've got here is support. So, sometimes what happens is, like with entrepreneurs, the leaders, they've got a huge responsibility. They've got this big responsibility. They are, they're at the head, and they've got responsibility for all their employees. And, and yes, they understand that, but they don't get the support that they need. They don't allow themselves to let that out because it feels like the norm to, oh yeah, I can deal with that, when really they need someone to be able to talk to about all the stuff that's going on for them aside from their teams. Someone who's totally separate, someone who's totally separate, that's able to, not be part of that team, who's able to sort of say to them, give them some honest feedback, that honest feedback about what they think will be the best. And again, I'm not saying that the entrepreneur has to take, all that information, but it's a different opinion. And this is going to teach the entrepreneur to be able to, hold firm their beliefs as well. So that will come about, and this is about, I could talk about my own self, who is a coach. I've worked in businesses as well, and working with those entrepreneurial leaders, I see how much they need that support. They need to let it out on a regular basis, whether it's once a week, once a fortnight, once a month. They need to have that consistency where they can just talk about that, get some ideas, regroup, go back in, and that's what that will strengthen you, and as well for me, the work that I've done, I'm a coach, but I'm also a trained psychotherapist. So my uniqueness is that I'm able to pinpoint and get an understanding really quickly on what are the blocks that stop the entrepreneur on a personal level. What's blocking them on a personal level. So through that coaching, I'm able to provide the tools that will help the entrepreneur to move forward. So if this has sparked something in you, please get in touch. I offer a free 30-minute consultation, and I'm really excited to be able to help you to start achieving the success at the rate that you hope you can, so that you can start feeling so much more fulfilled. So thank you so much for your time, and hopefully you'll get in touch, and we can get started on working together. Thank you.